Hi guys, thanks so much for coming back to Faces by Lucy to watch my video. I'm gonna do like a fun green look today. I had been thinking so much about green lately and I decided that I wanted a new green palette because that's my rule. If I think about something for long enough, then I think it's worth. So I got this beautiful green palette. This is a Lancome and it says Les Yeux Doux on the front, which is like soft eyes, and they're soft kind of like seafoam green colors, and I think this would work really well with any eye color and just really nice and fresh for spring. So I had to go out before, so I just did like minimal little BB cream, little concealer, Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, which I really like, and a little bit of blush. I'm switching over to Orgasm because spring is almost here, and this is kind of like my spring summer blush. It's got the little flecks of gold in it. It's such a great blush, but for me, I don't know, I think in the winter it's just my skin's too pale for it. It just doesn't really do me that well, so I'm gonna add a little bit more, kind of brighten everything up, and I think this peachy color will look really, really nice with the green eyes. So anyway, let's get started. I've already done a little painterly paint pot to prep my eyeshadow base, and then I'm gonna go in and do some brows. I usually use the MAC Lingering, but then I came across this inexpensive Maybelline one I have, and it's actually really good, and it's really inexpensive, and the pencil is really nice and hard, which is ideal for a brow pencil. I use blonde. I do also have the light brown ones, but there's too much red in them. So they make me look like I've got like red eye pencil. Depending on the color of your eyebrows, I think they might work, but most people need to use brow pencils with more of like a gray-green undertone, which sounds strange. But this blonde one I think would work well for brunettes and also for blondes. And it's kind of like MAC Lingering, but it's cheaper, and also I think that it lasts a little bit longer because, you know, the MAC pencils, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, they're pretty small, so I go through them really fast if I do my brows every day. So I like to mix it up a little bit, otherwise you're buying brow pencils all the time. And then I'm just gonna give it a comb through. I'm gonna keep my brows pretty, you know, low key today. It's not about the brow. I just wanted to give myself a little more body in the brow. If this was gonna be an evening look or I wanted a really defined brow, I'd probably go back over with some brow powder or something like that to fill it in even more, but I'm gonna leave it at that for now. So I'm also really excited to use my new eyeshadow. So I'm gonna start, and I am gonna put this large green color, this biggest one, all over my lid, basically from my lashes all the way up to the crease. And I'm gonna use a flat brush like this. This is a MAC 239. I'm only putting the color on one side because I don't want it to fall too much out. Like if I put the color here on the brush, if there's some on this side of the brush, it's just gonna fall down. So I'm just gonna pat that all over the lid. And it's just a really nice kind of seafoam green. Oh, I love it. I think it's so fun. I mean, green eyeshadow, it can be a little intense if you're not used to it or you don't like to wear color on your lids, but if you're not afraid of wearing a little bit of color, I say go for it. I just think green is so pretty, especially if you've got dark brown eyes. And then I'm gonna take this dark green eye pencil. This is MAC Tarnish, and I'm gonna go right into the roots of the lashes. And this is a kohl, so it's really easy to smudge, and that's what we want. I'm not doing like this precious perfect line. I just want to get those lashes nice and dark and just add a little definition. And I'm going to do a little bit on the bottom, just a little, because we're going to use shadow as well. I just want to add, and I'm going to bring it all the way into the inner corner. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're smudging, remember. Okay, so you've got nice defined lines with your Tarnish eye pencil. And now I'm gonna take like a nice fluffy brush, kind of like a MAC 224, but a little less dense, a little smaller. And I'm gonna take this like pretty sparkly color in the center, and I'm gonna work that into the crease. And this one's got sparkle in it, so might be even nice for evening, or if you're just, you know, you like a little sparkle in your daytime look. And I'm going to work that into the crease. And I'm using this fluffy brush because I want it to be a really, really soft transition. And my goal is really just to work from this palette. So I'm gonna see if I can do that without cheating and using any transition colors, because how nice would it be like that this is your whole like eye look and that's it. It's tiny, it's really small, you know. Bring it with you on vacation, you've got your eye looks. And I think there's a lot of things you could do with this. I'm just starting to play with it. Actually, today is my first time using it. So I'm gonna try to come up with some different ways to use this. Oh, I just think this green is so pretty. Maybe I'm alone in that. I don't know. I just think it is so pretty. I'm gonna take a little more. Get into the crease a little bit more. Really, really soft brush. So you can see it's just kind of like a poof of green. I'm gonna take that same brush and just wipe it off really well, because I really want to use this white sparkly color here. And I'm gonna get that on my brush, tap it up a little bit, and just get the inside, the inner corner right there. I'm gonna take this top color right here, and this is like a shimmery but not too sparkly highlight. And I'm gonna get this into the brow bone. So I'm really gonna be using all these, really like a seafoam green. It's very pretty for summer, I think. And I'm gonna use the same brush, just kind of wipe it off a little bit and just fluff everything kind of together. Almost done, but not quite. I'm gonna take a skinny brush. Really, any kind of skinny brush would be fine. You could use a bent liner brush. You could even use your 239. I'm gonna use this one. This is a Real Techniques. It's almost like a fat liner brush. I wouldn't probably use it for liquid liner. Maybe if I wanted something really thick. And I'm gonna use this bottom dark color that you can almost hardly see. It's for liner or for really getting that crease really dark. And I'm gonna get some on my brush. You could also use these wet, especially the liner. And I'm gonna go across the line I drew with my Tarnish eye pencil. And I'm just gonna press that eyeshadow into it and really smudge it. I'm gonna almost like wing it out a little bit with the shadow. So it's really subtle. It's just like a subtle shadow wing, not like a really intense one. And I think I want a little bit more of a blend. So I'm gonna take that first brush I used, and I'm not gonna do anything in terms of eyeshadow. I'm just gonna take what I've got, and I'm gonna smudge. And I'm gonna smudge even more. So I got a really nice shadow underneath my lashes. I'm gonna do the same thing on the top. Really smudge. Don't be afraid to wipe it away. If you wipe too much away, you can always go back and add more. But I don't want this line to be defined. I just want my lashes to be really defined. I don't want it to be like black wing liner at all. It might get a little messy, that's fine. You can go back and clean it up. And I don't think we give enough attention sometimes to underneath our eyes. I'm gonna get a little bit more of that first green color I used and get a little more underneath. Now I'm gonna go back with a clean blending brush. I'm just gonna use this MAC 217. Any kind of fluffy blending brush will be great. And I'm just gonna kind of blend everything together underneath. So you get like a really nice smooth line. Because you don't want it to look like you just threw color on your face. You want it to look like there was some kind of artistry, there was some kind of blend, there was some kind of like method going on. Now, totally normal for you to have a little bit of a haze under your eyes because you're working with powders. So what I'm gonna do is take my concealer brush that I already used when I did my concealer, just kind of brush it away. And I'm gonna get a little more concealer. I'm just gonna do a couple of dots under my eyes. And this is gonna clean everything up really nicely without messing up your makeup. Adds a little highlight. I've already curled my lashes, but I'm gonna go ahead and curl those lashes again, and just being careful not to mess up my eye makeup. If you do, which this is why I usually curl them in advance, I just kind of go back over, just smudgy smudge a little bit. This is why I usually prefer to do it before, because I always end up messing up my eye makeup. And also give your eyelash curler a good wipe down, even with alcohol, just to keep it really clean. And also not transferring the makeup on it. You're not gonna mess up your eye makeup. So that brings me to lashes, and this is a sample of Chanel mascara that I got. I normally don't spend a lot of money on mascara, but I think I actually am now a believer. This mascara is really good. This is the Le Volume de Chanel in 10 Noir, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna really load up my lashes with it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty good. Okay, so that's like a lot of coats of mascara, but I think it's pretty awesome. Am I gonna buy it? I don't know. I might put a little more to my brows just to add a little balance. Just work that, top it off with my favorite spring lip gloss. This is Chanel Gracile, which I think is really pretty pink. If you like something kind of natural, I think it's great, and I think it goes really pretty with the Nars Orgasm blush. I think it's just so pretty. And I didn't even do any bronzer today because I just wanted like the pinks to show, and I didn't want to add kind of any browns to my skin. So that's the finished look. It's kind of a bold eye, but I think it's so soft and springy that I really think you can get away with it in the day or what have you. Totally modifiable if you want to go a little less or a little more, bump it up or bump it down. You can totally do that, but I'm loving this palette. I cannot wait to keep using it, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. And as always, I'm gonna list all my products in the description box below. And thanks so much.